How you doing, everybody? My name is Dr. Sami Baya. Please welcome back to my YouTube channel. 30 stages of a relationship between a super empath and a narcissist. That is the title of this video. Navigating a relationship between a super empath and a narcissist can be highly complex and emotionally challenging. In this video, I'll give a detailed breakdown of 30 stages that might occur in such a relationship, along with real-life inspired short stories and examples for each stage. Stage 1 is the initial attraction. Sarah, an empath, is drawn to Tom's confidence and charisma. Tom, a narcissist, is captivated by Sarah's kindness and willingness to listen. The empath sees the narcissist as someone who is exciting and powerful, while the narcissist views the empath as a source of admiration and support. Stage 2 of a relationship between a super empath and a narcissist is the idealization phase. Tom showers Sarah with compliments and attention, making her feel like she's found the perfect partner. Here, the narcissist projects an idealized version of themselves, while the empath feels validated and adored. Stage 3 is the deep connection. Sarah feels an intense emotional bond with Tom, believing their connection is special and profound. Here, the empath invests deeply in the relationship, feeling that they understand each other on a soul deep level. Stage 4 is the overdependence. Tom begins to rely on Sarah for emotional validation and reassurance, becoming increasingly dependent on her. Here, the narcissist starts leaning heavily on the empath for self-esteem boosts and emotional support. Stage 5 is the early signs of manipulation. Sarah notices that Tom subtly criticizes her choices, but she rationalizes it as constructive feedback. Here, the narcissist uses manipulation tactics to control the empath's behavior, often disguised as concern. In stage 6 is the emotional roller coaster. Sarah experiences extreme highs when Tom is affectionate and deep lows when he is distant or critical. Here, the empath's emotions are highly influenced by the narcissist's unpredictable behavior. Stage 7 is the self-doubt. Tom's critical comments make Sarah question her own worth and abilities. Here, the narcissist's feedback causes the empath to doubt themselves, undermining their confidence. Stage 8 is isolation from friends and family. Tom subtly discourages Sarah from spending time with her loved ones, making her feel guilty for wanting to be with them. Here, the narcissist isolates the empath to maintain control and ensure they are more dependent on them. Stage 9 is gaslighting. Tom tells Sarah she's overreacting or misremembering events, making her question her own perceptions. Here, the narcissist manipulates the empath into doubting their own reality and sanity. Stage 10 is shifts in power dynamics. Sarah finds that her opinions and feelings are increasingly dismissed or invalidated by Tom. Here, the narcissist gradually takes control of decision making, while the empath feels increasingly powerless. In stage 11, there is intermittent reinforcement. Tom gives Sarah affection and praise sporadically, creating a sense of unpredictability and craving for approval. Here, the empath receives occasional positive reinforcement from the narcissist, making them more hooked on the approval. Stage 12 is where there is increased criticism. Tom's comments become more frequent and harsh, making Sarah feel constantly on edge. Here, the narcissist escalates criticism as a way to maintain control and diminish the empath's self-esteem. Stage 13 is about self-sacrifice. Sarah starts neglecting her own needs and desires to cater to Tom's demands and desires. Here, the empath prioritizes the narcissist's needs over their own, often to their own detriment. Stage 14 is where there is blaming of the empath. Whenever conflicts arise, Tom blames Sarah, insisting that she's the cause of their problems. Here, the narcissist deflects responsibility for issues, placing the blame squarely on the empath. In stage 15, there is emotional exhaustion. Sarah feels drained and overwhelmed from constantly trying to meet Tom's emotional needs and handle his volatility. Here, the empath becomes emotionally exhausted from the constant demands and instability from the narcissist. In stage 16, there is denial and minimization. Sarah downplays Tom's negative behavior to herself and others, convincing herself it is not as bad as it seems. Here, the empath minimizes the severity of the narcissist's actions to avoid confronting the painful reality. In stage 17, there is desperation for change. Sarah desperately tries to change her behavior in hopes of fixing the relationship and making Tom happier. Here, the empath invests significant effort into altering themselves to meet the narcissist's expectations. In stage 18, there is cycle of reconciliation. After an argument, Tom charms Sarah back with grand gestures, and she believes the relationship is improving. Here, the narcissist goes through a cycle of making up and then reverting to old behaviors, keeping the empath hopeful. In stage 19, there is confusion and self-blame. Sarah is confused about the relationship's direction and blames herself for any issues or failures. Here, the empath struggles with clarity about the relationship's reality, internalizing the blame. In stage 20, there is severe mood swings. Tom's mood swings create a turbulent environment where Sarah never knows what to expect. Here, the narcissist's unpredictable behavior leaves the empath constantly on edge and anxious. In stage 21, there is controlling behavior. Tom starts making decisions for Sarah, such as dictating who she can and cannot see. Here, the narcissist exerts control. They exerts increasing control over the empath's life, limiting their autonomy. In stage 12, there is withdrawal and silence. Tom occasionally withdraws emotionally or goes silent, creating confusion and fear in Sarah. Here, the narcissist uses periods of silence as a manipulative tactic to exert control and make the empath anxious. In stage 23, there is escalation of conflict. Arguments become more intense and frequent, with Tom using them as a means to assert dominance. Here, the narcissist escalates conflicts to maintain power and control, making resolution difficult. In stage 24, there's the feeling trapped. Sarah feels trapped in the relationship, unable to escape due to emotional dependency and fear of loneliness. Here, the empath feels ensnared in the relationship, struggling to find a way out despite recognizing the dysfunction. In stage 25, it's about seeking external validation. Sarah starts looking for validation and support from friends or therapists to cope with the relationship's challenges. The empath, the empath seeks external sources of validation and support to counterbalance the narcissist influence. In stage 26, there is narcissistic rage. Tom's rage erupts over minor issues, causing Sarah to walk on eggshells to avoid triggering his anger. Here, the narcissist's explosive outburst of anger create a climate of fear and tension for the empath. In stage 27, it's all about strained personal identity. Sarah's sense of self becomes increasingly blurred as she absorbs Tom's needs and expectations. Here, the empath's identity becomes entangled with the narcissist's demands, losing touch with their own individuality. In stage 28, it's all about realization of unhealthy dynamics. Sarah begins to recognize the toxic patterns in the relationship and acknowledges the need for change. Here, the empath starts to understand the unhealthy dynamics and the impact they've had on their well-being. In stage 29, it's about decision to leave. Sarah decides to end the relationship, despite the narcissist's attempts to manipulate or persuade her to stay. Here, the empath makes the difficult decision to leave, prioritizing their own mental health and self-respect. And finally, stage 30 is about recovery and growth. Sarah begins the process of healing, seeking therapy and support to rebuild her self-esteem and reclaim her identity. Here, the empath embarks on a journey of personal growth, learning from the experience and focusing on self-care and empowerment. These stages illustrate the typical progression of a relationship between a super empath and a narcissist, highlighting the emotional turbulence and complex dynamics involved. Each individual's experience can vary, but understanding these stages can help in recognizing and addressing the challenges in such relationships. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've learned a thing or two. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.